This line represents a journey. It begins steadily, then as time goes on, things accelerate. Each moment is accompanied by higher peaks and better results than the moment before. Then, seemingly just as quickly as it began, a wall. Progress stops, enthusiasm fades, and then begins the decline. Suddenly, nothing seems to work out and frustration mounts as we enter into the pit. And it's here where giving up really occurs. This was my experience, but it surely isn't a unique one. And so I went looking for answers. I wanted to know two things. What causes this pattern to occur? And most importantly, how do we prevent it? So this is what came to mind when I saw that I had entirely too many unfinished projects. And after some observation, the common theme was this. Each project normally begins as an idea, but if the idea didn't end up working out as well as it did in my head, it would all kind of fall apart. But the real answer, I think, is a little bit more nuanced and far more interesting. And that brings us to this book. In the book, the author outlines our expectations of progress with a line like this. It's a linear progression that shows your progress as a one-to-one for your effort over time. But that isn't really the case. You see, the author also says that our actual progress looks something like this. Instead of being at a one-to-one, it's actually exponential. I think this means our efforts day after day compound even when we're not aware, leading to that exponential progress shape over time. But most of us never really get to the end of the curve because of what lies in between. The valley of disappointment. Just like in our first example, our expectations lead to frustration, which leads to disappointment, which then leads to quitting. This is kind of like a terrible feedback loop that can stop all of your progress. The expectation of being farther along on the line for a given period of time is what sets it all into motion. The frustration comes as a byproduct of that expectation. But instead of it stopping you, how do you stop it? So of the projects that I did finish, I noticed one common theme. I had basically endless ideas and the track almost writes itself from one idea to another. I would also work on them for really long periods of time. But in one word, I would say the key difference is intention. Pairing the intention of finishing the project along with working on it by default made all of the difference. So in this way, finishing the track was just a byproduct of the things that I did every single day. But is this really something that we can force? Well, I think we can. If we allow the process to run its course bit by bit, then the whole thing comes together when given enough time. So the real question now is how long are we willing to wait?